Hello, hello. I have been dying to do this live for weeks, and I finally was like, let me stop everything because this is a topic that we need to talk about. If you have bought or sold a house in the Bay Area in the last 10, 15 years, you've noticed that we do some things a little bit different. And so I feel like we need to talk about it. So I'm going to wait and give people a few minutes to jump on so that we can have this conversation about how we sell homes here in the Bay Area. So for those of you who don't know me personally, I'm Katrina Carter. I'm a real estate broker associate with eXp. I specialize in selling homes in San Leandro, Oakland, and surrounding East Bay cities. And I've been in real estate for over 25 years. I'm also a loan officer with Empire Home Loans. And I'm grateful to be able to do both, in that I feel like it gives me the opportunity to really help clients with a well-rounded picture of how we move forward. But today specifically, I want to talk about one major thing that we do differently in the Bay Area as far as selling homes, and that is recommending that people get inspections up front. And so I want to talk about the pros and cons of that, why I think it's really important to do so, why I think, the Bay Area is the land of innovation. We are tech central, Silicon Valley, the home of Google, Facebook, Apple, like I can go on and on and on of the levels of innovation that happen here in the Bay Area. And I feel like our approach to selling homes, especially with advising or recommending to sellers that you get inspections up front, is innovative, and the domino effect of what happens when you do and when you don't. So I have some notes because, again, this has been on my mind for a while. And I want to talk about, I lead a accountability group as part of my marketing coach, Kristen Mayshaw's marketing coaching program. And so I talk with agents all over the country every day, Monday through Friday at 4:30 a.m. We get together and we help hold each other accountable to our businesses, but then we also mastermind, and I also run a mastermind group on Tuesday evenings at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time called Smarter Business with Katrina Carter. And I talk a lot of different tech systems to help run your business, things to help shift your mindset. And again, I think this is a mindset issue of how we approach. So quite often when someone goes to sell their property, they're looking for the highest price. And I feel like, do you want the highest price that we list the property or the highest price that we close the property? And I believe that's one of the reasons why we get inspections, or that we recommend that you get inspections up front. So let's talk about that concept. Here in the Bay Area, we recommend that you get inspections up front, and it leads to a few things. You then have the option to get repairs done before you put the property on the market. And then that way you're able to know everything that's going on with your property, or for the most part, what's going on with your property. So getting a home inspection, a pest inspection, a roof inspection, so you know the condition. And then you can choose to get repairs done up front, or you can then price accordingly and be able to fully disclose everything that's going on with the property, so the buyer is fully aware. Susan, I love our masterminds as well, and I love that you're here. And so when you fully disclose, the likelihood, of course, nothing is guaranteed, but the likelihood of an as-is sale rises, because then you're fully disclosing what's going on with the property, and buyers are fully informed. Now, buyers are still going to be recommended that they get their own inspections done by a neutral third party, but at least they are aware when they're making their offer of the majority of things that are going on with that property. So what is the age of that roof? Is there any pests that have been found on that pest inspection? Any dry rot? A lot of people don't realize that dry rot is considered a pest. Fungus is considered a pest. And so a lot of times I'll talk to a seller, and when we say pest, they go, oh, well, I don't have any bugs. I don't have any termites. Well, one, you can never know that for sure without an inspection. Or I don't have any rats, or I don't, they'll think of pests as actual creatures without a better word. But pests, again, like I said, dry rot is the most common one found on a pest inspection. And you never know what's going on with your property, what's lurking in those wood members. And so it's really important to get that one up front. And then again, home inspection, let's check the electrical, let's check the plumbing and see everything that's going on, the condition of those things, because what's hiding in your walls and in your pipes, you don't know until you have it inspected. And I've had numerous situations where I've recommended a seller get inspections up front. They choose not to do so. And then they're frustrated with a buyer coming back and asking for repairs or asking for a credit after the fact. And they're like, well, this is an as-is sale. I wanted to sell as is. Well, can you really sell as is if you're not fully informing a potential buyer up front? How can they possibly make an offer with an as-is expectation without actually providing as much information as possible up front? So I don't know the party or the company that started the trend that we have here in the Bay Area of getting inspections up front, but I'm all for it. And like I said, I've seen it go awry when inspections are not obtained up front. Then buyers are asking for credits or repairs to be done once we're already in escrow. And then there's a lot of frustration and back and forth that could have been avoided or alleviated. And so that is one of the reasons why I think that it's really to your best interest in order in getting inspections up front. Again, you don't have to do the work. You're just disclosing and pricing accordingly. Susan, that is a great suggestion. Hey, Diaz, or a great question. Home warranties. I also think no one should buy a property without a home warranty, whether you pay for it yourself or it's negotiated for a seller to pay for it. As long as you have a good home warranty company, I've seen numerous times where a home warranty can save you on the back end, 6 months to a year down the road, where an appliance goes out, a water heater, I've seen commonly happen, where a water heater goes out. No one could have known that up front for sure. And then the home warranty company actually came out and replaced it. So I think that's to your benefit to make sure that a home warranty, and quite often I will pay for that for clients because I do believe in having a home warranty at all times. There's actually a waiver. If you choose not to get a home warranty, there's a waiver that is required to be signed as part of our disclosure package. So if you choose not to get a home warranty, not a problem, but you do have to sign a waiver that I told you it's in your best interest to actually obtain one. So that's really a great question. And again, why we get inspections, because when you get those inspections up front, and there are certain things that you will be able to see on a home inspection or a pest inspection that, you know what, it is to your best interest to pay that $1,500 to $2,000 for inspections, depending on what type of property you have and what the inspections will entail. Because of course, for a larger property, the home inspection is going to be on a higher price, of course, than a smaller property. So it's to your best interest. Do you want to pay $1,500, $2,000, or even $2,500 now? Or do you want somebody to come back and ask you for a $5, $10, $15, or even $100,000 credit or reduction in price later? So that is why I believe that it's really into your best interest to get inspections. Another thing I wanted to bring up with this, since I'm talking about inspections and we're here in California, the newer bill, it's not new, it just goes into effect this year and officially by January 2026, is SB 721, which is having deck inspections and balcony inspections. So if you have a multi-unit property, 3 units or above, and you have an elevated space 6 feet or higher, those must be inspected if you're a homeowner, whether you're selling or not. So you must be in compliance by January of 2026. And if there's anything that it's found that is needs emergency to be fixed, you must remedy that immediately. If you do not, if it's not deemed an emergency, you have 120 days to remedy that situation. However, starting January of 2026, they're going to start fining anywhere between $100 and $500 a day if you do not have that remedied. And those of us who live in the Bay Area know how much, especially in Oakland, Berkeley, San Francisco, those fines can ramp up really quickly. And so I think it's really important to go ahead and mention that inspection now. If you're a property owner with 3 units or above, go ahead and get that inspection if you haven't already, and start getting the process in line in order to get that work done, so that you're in compliance by January. So I just wanted to mention that one as well. Let me check my notes and make sure there's nothing else that I want to make sure I address. Again, it's really important to get these inspections up front. It builds the trust with buyers, their confidence. I have a situation with a property where the property owner had built and sold dozens of properties over the years, over a few decades. And so he knows code. He's used to doing a lot of the repairs, making sure they're to code. And so the buyer was going and putting an offer with that confidence. And then it came back with almost $100,000 of repairs. Now, those numbers could have been inflated. But the main reason why I share that is because had we received the inspections up front, those things could have been remedied. Where now a buyer is going, is there anything else that I don't know about this property that didn't come up in the inspections? And so you want buyers to be able to trust that everything has been done to everyone's benefit to the best of their ability. And so I think that's another benefit of getting inspections up front, that it really helps with that. Because then we don't have those surprises. There's less opportunity for renegotiation the more that is disclosed up front. And like I said, it strengthens the case for an as-is sale. And then that way you're pricing strategically, whether you chose to do work up front before staging the property, or you just said, you know what, I'm going to sell as is, but I'm letting you know what as is means to the best of my ability because I've went ahead and obtained those inspections up front. And then, you feel like you're much more in charge as the seller, as the property owner, as the agent, of knowing that, hey, we are putting everything, laying all cards on the table up front. There isn't anything that things always come up by surprise later with another inspector. Yes, but it's less likely. And so that is the reason why I believe that the Bay Area is innovative in our approach to recommending that our sellers get inspections up front. And that's something that I would love to see that spread to other areas. If you're an agent out of the Bay Area or in another state, even Southern California, I'm not sure if they do it similarly in Southern California, but I'd love to know, if you're an agent in another area, what is your customary process, and what do you think of the possibility of asking sellers to adopt the practice of getting inspections up front, and how much it helps the seller feel much more in control of the process when selling their home. So again, I just wanted to share today. I'm Katrina Carter, Selling Real Estate Smarter here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and here to help you with your process as you move forward with buying and selling property. I'll see you soon.